Today is brought to you by Subway, open 24 hours in Countryside, Anderson Square in Georgetown, and Centennial Towers in West Bay. And by the Ministry of District Administration, explore your history, explore your land, explore your sister islands. And Cayman Airways, call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama. And Doctors Hospital, peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctors Hospital, always there for you. Call 949-6066.
But I do have some questions.
There are more questions than answers.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners' participation program.
Talk today.
What is on your mind, Cayman? If you are ready to talk, we are ready to listen. Here's your host, Sterling Dwayne EBANKS.
A wonderful welcome to each and everyone, and not in prose, no sculpture, no painting, no anything artistic other than an opportunity to share from within what is on your heart and how can we together draw lasting friendships, build bridges that connect, and set up spaces that unite, hopefully nurture. So I invite you to join us. It's a Friday as we get into the Christmas weekend. A lot is going to unfold. So share with us your plans. Stay tuned for Talk Today.
Talk Today is reminding you.
Avoid any statements or comments which are abusive, derogatory, malicious, or defamatory. Do not use indecent language or make any statement that is false or misleading. Call 1-800-534-8255, 949-6990, 949-8037, or WhatsApp us on 925-3261.
Email Talk Today at candw.ky. Let your voice be heard.
And now, back to Sterling Dwayne EBANKS, Radio Cayman Talk Today.
Hey, welcome back, and thanks for joining us as we invite you to share your thoughts with us. We are always grateful that even in the busiest time for some, because it's year end, it's Christmas, it's all the other things, you still make time to listen and to share, and we want to hear from you. We want to encourage or support and remind you that in all things, if there is that agape love, it makes the world go around. It should not be money, no materialism, as much as that plays a role, sometimes deliberately and consciously, sometimes just inadvertently. You can't pay for something, well, somebody will have to go without. But instead, if we have that love, we can extend it to all and sundry. The greatest gift of all, is that genuine willingness to give of your all. Your time, your talent, and your treasure, as Miss Marlin says. So share with us. 949-8037, 949-6990. You can WhatsApp call 925-3261, as well as use the flow toll-free line if that works for you. 1-800-534-8255. Always get a thorough life lesson when I get a chance to listen to Mr. Art's show, and well-earned hiatus until next year. Sounds like that's so long. Maybe if we say it that way, we may think that the intervening break is that much more. But there's only a few days, and some could probably even calculate it down to the second. But enjoy it. Make it memorable and lasting, but make it safe. And make it such that as you come together as friends and family, that you appreciate life, understanding and acknowledging that no man is promised tomorrow. And it isn't so much, as Mr. Jeff would talk about, the start date nor the end date. It's that dash in between that matters. And that is where, we're measured, where our legacy is defined, and where, unfortunately, in our absence, others will be determined. What is your Christmas wish? 949-8037, 949-6990. What is it that you most desire? For yourself and for others. It could be like way back when the Miss Universe pageant would unfold, and they would ask the contestants, and they would say, we want world peace. Because some people just want a piece of the world. Others are not content with as much as they have. But that PEACE might be just what we need increasingly we are finding ourselves in spaces where we don't have that clarity of thoughts, that consciousness of mind, that thing, that space that allows us, as much as those around would say, well, you need some me time, or they would share, self-care is not selfish, and as true as all that may be, the question is, are you able to avail yourself of it? Do you have that prayer closet? Do you have that space where you can retreat and know two things? One, the world will still go on safely, and two, while you're in that space, for some it's the shower. They're in there for what seemingly is an inordinate amount of time, because they're just letting, the hottest water that they can endure, the coldest water that they can, just wash over them, wash away the day. Not just the trials and tribulations or the stress and stressors that they may have experienced, but just that quietness, that solitude. And for some, it's other things that may cause them to de-stress. Hopefully, it is healthy. Hopefully, it is something that, if others are participating, is in a way that adds joy and value and memories that are lasting and loving, and hopefully one day can be laughed at. Well, again, your wish for yourself or for others. 949-837, 949-6990. And as the unfolding landscape in our country, sometimes in the most unexpected, unanticipated, unrivaled, and at times, not just unacknowledged, but undeserved, at least to our minds, yet does not mean it doesn't transpire. What do you want for others? So whether it's the political landscape, the socio-economic, or whether you're looking at the physical changes to the environment and infrastructure, what about even within ourselves? Some are consciously, because of the physician's advice, looking after our health and well-being. Maybe eating more of certain things, avoiding some things, perhaps taking that needed rest and relaxation, ensuring that you try to get more and better sleep. And for others, it's that need to, calm down, chill, just relax. Easier said than done for many. Now, in the program yesterday, where we had 3 members of the parliament join us, a number of individuals have shared since that of all the things that are sort of out in the domain, and hopefully I relayed what they said correctly, but also in doing so, that it adds more opportunities for discussion as opposed to, sort of fodder to the fire, as it were. The comments relative to the MOU and the potential for government to engage in certain things. One of the sort of 2 resounding voices after the show from our callers who said, well, if the current members of the House sharing that it's a caretaker government, a minority government, and if the understanding was that you just be there until the election, 4 or so months now, then what happened to the normal practices of before, where in this caller's view, governments then would do any and everything as they would lead up to the election, not only to get re-elected, but to get things done, expenditures committed, putting the country on another path. Now, is that a convention that has been ignored, or is that something that they're trying to instill now? And if so, would they have done it had they been there, or would they do as they allege, and the government at the helm do whatever is within their legal and constitutional authority to do? We'll pause and take that break, but when we return, let me ask you, is it, as was alleged yesterday, that perhaps those things should be in the public domain, any swapping of lands, despite, as MP Panton highlighted, having to be approved by the House of Parliament? Join us after the break. Would love very much to hear from you.
Stay cyber secure with Cayman National. Protect your computers and mobile devices with security software to defend against cyber attacks through viruses, malware, and other online threats. Be aware of unsecure Wi-Fi connections when in public. If you need to access your online banking or sensitive information on your mobile devices, try disabling the Wi-Fi and switching to data from your mobile network. If you suspect a fraud attempt, please contact our customer support team at 949-8300.
This holiday season, Subway is serving up something sweet. Introducing the foot-long cookie. It's ooey gooey and packed with chocolate chip perfection. The ultimate sweet sidekick to your favorite sub, salad, pizza, or catering platter. Whether you're treating yourself or sharing the joy, the foot-long cookie is the perfect bite of holiday cheer. But don't wait. This limited time delight won't last forever. Visit one of their 7 locations, 4 of which are open 24 hours, and grab your foot-long chocolate chip cookie, because who says dessert can't go the extra mile? Subway, fresh for the holidays.
December is here, but there's still time for that Miami trip before Christmas. Cayman Airways has added several extra flights from Grand Cayman to Miami, perfect for a weekend getaway and to catch that increased duty-free allowance for Cayman residents. But hurry, word is getting round, so those extra seats not going to last long. Book your Miami seats online at CaymanAirways.com or call them on 949-2311. All aboard Cayman Airways with extra flights to Miami before Christmas.
Accidents and illnesses can strike without warning. Ouch! When it comes to urgent care, every second counts. At Doctors Hospital, we have a dedicated team of experienced doctors and nursing staff available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Don't waste time in an overcrowded emergency room when you need urgent care. Whether it's a broken bone, a severe infection, or a sudden illness, trust in Doctors Hospital's unwavering dedication to providing the best immediate care. For complete urgent care when you need it the most, choose Doctors Hospital, located in Georgetown, 16 Middle Road.
A caring and community spirit, cherished family and cultural values. These are some of the things that still embodies the Caymanian way of life in the Eastern Districts today. Savannah Pharmacy, your neighborhood pharmacy, located in Countryside Shopping Village, is delighted to offer products and services of real value. Whether it's catering to your family's medical needs or carrying apparel, gifts, and beauty products, Savannah Pharmacy provides you with more than just prescriptions. Remember, they're always just around the corner with everything your family needs and convenient opening hours, including Sundays and holidays. Savannah Pharmacy. For more information, call 946-3336.
Prescription refills made easy at Savannah Pharmacy. WhatsApp your prescription refills to 929-5045.
Wouldn't it have been grand if you had purchased land 30 years ago? It may not be 2020, but a perfect vision has never been more clear. Cayman Brac and Little Cayman, poised for growth with an eye on the future. Your land, your history, your future. Discover all that our sister islands have to offer.
Merry Christmas from Robert Wood Furniture and Interiors to all my friends, family, and clients. I'd like to bring you a holiday special on all our products in store with a very special Christmas discount. Save 25% on everything in the store and receive a discount on special orders. Please shop from December 16th through the 21st and enjoy all of our year-end savings. We are located in the Cayman Center on Orin Roberts Drive or online at robertwoodky.com. or call us on 949-7765. Merry Christmas and a very Happy New Year to all friends, family, and clients.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Hey, welcome back. Thanks for joining us. It is open line as we go to the phones and welcome this caller. Hey, welcome. Thanks for calling.
Hi, Sterling. How you doing today?
I am very thankful. Making it, the best.
You're always thankful. You have nothing to not be thankful for.
I have life, health, and strength. I have good people in my life. I have those that tell me what I need to hear, who lead me, who allow me to lead. Hey, listen, let me share it this way. I've tried to define it this way.
Okay.
You look at two words, bitter and better. The difference is just a letter, but the impact is, Very, very
enormous.
significant. So,
It's enormous. That's true.
yeah.
Anyways, I was just calling the show to do one of two things. One, to appeal to the community to help me feed the cat colonies I have in the BRAC that I feed. I need, people can go to Cost You Less or call the shop in Kimmenbrack, the Shoppie, or Kirkernel Marketplace, or and order or pay for a couple bags or a bag of the meal mix or any kind of dry cat food, so that in a large bag, of course, so that I can continue feeding the kitties, because I do that every day, twice a day, and there's a lot of them in my little colonies, and I'm trying to fix them as well as keep them dewormed, give them a little better life. And these cats aren't ferocious cats. My colony cats that I feed all over the bluff as well, they're not ferocious. All the lies that we've been told about the cats are all very untrue. You can take it from me, a cat lover who lives with 18 in her house. Actually, as of 2 days ago, there's 19 now I've rescued or adopted in my home that live with me. And they're all indoors. So anyone wants to help, they can do so, and they can just tell the people at Cost You Less it's going to carry in the BRAC, or they know me, or at Shoppie, they can do the same. Tell them it's for a Carrie, who feeds the cat, and they will definitely take care of that. And I thank them, whoever wants to make the donation. I appreciate it. If you need to contact me directly, you can do so through WhatsApp or message or email. My email is mrscarriewhitaker@gmail.com or carrietibbet2015@yahoo.com or 917-8885. You could WhatsApp or message me if you want to donate to the cats, and I definitely appreciate everything you do. And the last thing I want to say, I want to thank you, Sterling, for another year of bringing a lot to us, and I want to also commend you on not being too fearful anymore. I see that I've listened to you for a long time, and I've listened to you grow out of maybe shyness or being afraid, but I like your delivery, and you've improved on it, and I thank you for that. And I thank you for letting the people say what they have to say when they call your show. I appreciate that a lot, because it's our radio station, and the people need to have their voice heard. And thank you again for all that you've done, and Susu over there. Thank you, Susu, and everyone at Radio Cayman. And I wish that going forward that the BRAC will never have any outages that we're not notified of. That if there's an outage, there's some notification sent out on your social media platforms, because it seems as I'm the only one that tells you all when you're not on air, which I have no problem with, because I listen to all the Radio Cayman stations up here. And that is the only thing a lot of our elderly listen to. We don't have no other radio station up here to listen to, and when you're not on air, then they're separated and they're cut off from the rest of what's going on. So it's always good to know. That way I can also go and tell them. And I have done that, say, hey, we should have radio tomorrow. And I wish a Merry Christmas to you, Sterling, and all of you at Radio Cayman, and to you, your family. And I pray that you all have a wonderful Christmas. And I ask you to pray for all our people right now that are suffering, that won't have a good Christmas, because they do need a lot of prayer right now, because a lot of our people are very, very much in the gutter and suffering in this country. And I hope you all have a good New Year's, and I pray that God give them a better life starting in January, or starting from now. Okay, I'm out of here. Talk to you later.
Hopefully, not much later, but thank you for that. And we'll pause, and then we'll join our callers right after.
Did you know that Doctors Hospital provides urgent care services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? And Doctors Hospital's urgent care physicians have access to the most advanced MRI and CT imaging in the Caribbean, providing reliable diagnostics when you need it most. When you need quality urgent care for an illness or injury, Doctors Hospital is here for you 24/7. Whether it's a migraine, chest or abdominal pain, shortness of breath, broken bones, or another urgent need, Doctors Hospital at the top of Walker's Road. Urgent care right now.
Are you planning a social, an office party, or event over the holiday season? Make the most of your holiday party and leave the catering to Subway. Choose from small and large sandwich platters, double meat wrap platters, and top it off with optional cookie platters for dessert. Or ask about our Subway Box to Go with the option of a 6-inch or foot-long sandwich, 1 cookie, and 1 bag of chips. Cater your holiday parties with Subway. Visit subway.ky for menu options. Subway, eat fresh.
December is here, but there's still time for that Miami trip before Christmas. Cayman Airways has added several extra flights from Grand Cayman to Miami, perfect for a weekend getaway and to catch that increased duty-free allowance for Cayman residents. But hurry, word is getting round, so those extra seats not going to last long. Book your Miami seats online at CaymanAirways.com or call them on 949-2311. All aboard Cayman Airways with extra flights to Miami before Christmas.
Kirk Freeport's annual $40,000 Christmas sweepstakes is back once again. Simply spend $100 at your favorite Kirk Freeport store to enter to win one of 3 $5,000 cash prizes, one of 5 $1,000 cash prizes, and loads of other great prizes throughout December. And of course, the one you're all waiting for, the Rolex watch prize draw for all entries will be held on January 3rd. All purchases of $100 at any Kirk Freeport store before noon on Christmas Eve qualify for all remaining prize draws. Full details on kirkfreeport.com. Merry Christmas from everyone at Kirk Freeport.
The Butcher Shop at Rankin's Farm is ready to stock your kitchen this holiday season with delicious fresh local meats, beef, pork, and goat available now and cut to order. And they have you covered with fresh produce, hot and seasoned peppers, tomatoes, and scallions straight from Rankin's Farm. The Butcher Shop at Rankin's Farm is located at 3032 Shamrock Road by Rankin's Jerk. Open Monday to Saturday, 7:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Call 929-4584. Make it a happy holiday season with the Butcher Shop at Rankin's Farm.
Reflections annual countdown to Christmas sale is on now. Ladies, save 50 to 75% off selected fashion clothing, selected Adidas, Puma, and Nike sneakers discounted from 25 to 50% off. Make your gift giving super easy this year by getting Reflections gift certificates for everyone on your list. Converse kicks starting at $25 and bargains galore throughout the store. Guys, cargo pants, big and tall, $5.50. Levi's and selected Docker pants, 25% off. Every purchase above $49 at Reflections gives you the opportunity to win 2 free tickets to any Cayman Airways destination of your choice. Open Monday to Thursday, 9 a.m. till 8 p.m. and Friday and Saturday, 9 a.m. until 9 p.m. Shop Reflections on Shen Road beside the Mango Tree.
See yourself in Reflections.
Reflections, always driving down prices.
Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas!
Bobo Sana, where you going?
I'm heading to Cellular World on West Bay Road at Baytown Plaza, the old Merritt Plaza.
You driving safe, right, Bobo Sana?
Oh, yes! Cellular World is open late, so I can skip the daytime traffic. This is where I go to fill my sack with phones, speakers, headsets, and all kind of phone cases and screen protectors.
Bobo Sana, you got any space in that sleigh ride to carry me with you? I want to buy some phone and accessories too.
Hop on in and let's go to Cellular World. Open late, 5 phones and lots of electronic gadgets for Christmas and beyond. This Christmas, make it Cellular World. Ho, 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 ho.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Hey, welcome back, and thank you very much for joining us as we go straight to the phones. Good afternoon, welcome.
Good afternoon, Sterling. How are you doing?
Afternoon, Minister Brian, sir. How are you today? Merry Christmas to you.
Merry Christmas to you too, my brother. I want to first say Merry Christmas to everybody who is listening. I hope everybody's having an okay holiday thus far in all the busy chaos and the traffic and the shopping and all that. So I hope there's some good holiday spirit spreading around. I called in because, unfortunately, this is the last thing I wanted to do because, we're supposed to be focusing on Christmas right now, but I see that silly season is here and people are, unfortunately, making a kind of a mess of communications and information that's going around. So I think there's 3 things that I wanted to speak on. One, this matter of this misinformation about a land swap with the dark group. The public beach situation, it actually was just two things. So those two things. So I unfortunately, after a long day of work, I watched the show back yesterday in respect to your guest on, the Honorable Wayne Panton, the former Deputy Premier Andre and Miss Kathy Wilkes. And I just wondered if you had received the press release on Friday the 13th of last week.
Last Friday the 13th, indeed, yes. The MOU, the one from government on talking about the MOU with government and the dark group.
Correct.
Yes, sir.
So the point that is interesting is that, you know, the former premier tries to sit there and allude to ministers being involved in negotiations with the dark group or any other entity, how inappropriate that would be. And I agree with him wholeheartedly. But sadly, he's painting a picture that is the case when the press release outright said that it would be done by the civil service, as is always done with any kind of discussions with any private entity. And he knows that, and the press knows that too, but nobody wants to counteract the claims that they're making and making it seem as if the government is in some secret deal with the dark group particularly. And that's unfortunately what I call misinformation and disinformation for the silly season. I really expected better out of him, but I'm forced to now respond to that. So, and much of the reality is that the public don't get all the information surrounding it. Sadly, I just want to give a little bit of a synopsis because the press release has gone out. The Deputy Governor and the relevant chief officers will be discussing with the group about what's the best way to exit the Israel's deal, because with deciding to exit the Israel deal, the government of the Cayman Islands still has a portion of money owed to them from works they've already done on the Israel's projects, which is capping the landfill and so forth. So rather than outright coming up with that raw cash to give the dark group, which is obligatory as per the contract which was signed in the last administration, could there be some other arrangements quite similar like what they probably would have done in the Escalade Tibbetts Highway arrangement, NRA arrangement? And there's outstanding monies owed to the organization from that East-West arterial, not East-West, the NRA deal that was done in, I think it was the McKeever Bush administration, which was like 3 administrations ago. And there's still outstanding monies owed from that. So the organization, dark group, as much as people may, the public has a perception of that, there's a legal obligation to monies received, benefits received from previous governments that this government is obligated to today. But we're having to deal with the mess, and as a result of not going forward with the ISMS deal or rectifying the previous NRA deal with the road, the closing of the ISMS contract gave the government an opportunity to say, okay, how could we resolve this without having to come up with all of this money that was owed to the DAR organization for the rest of these things? Could there be discussions, or do we just outright leave the deal and then government comes up with it, multi-millions of dollars from these previous deals that were done? And again, I want to specify previous deals that weren't done in this administration, even the minority, or from the very start of the independence together. This was done in the last administration and the previous administrations before that we're obligated to deal with. But nobody talks about that part. So before finalizing the ISMS deal, is there a better way that we can resolve that? And because the DAR Group is a developing organization who always have interest in various different properties across the Cayman Islands. And there is another piece of property, and this is the part that disturbs me the most, is the Barcus area, which is very important not only to the West Bay people, but primarily the West Bay people and the Greater Cayman Islands, where DART owns a large majority of it. And the government, before the four left, before the Honorable former Premier Wayne Panton left, was always of the mind, how could we get this land in the government's hands so we can turn it into a national park and protect it as such? But obviously, if the DART group owns it, you can't just take the person's property. So the discussions that the MOU is dealing with is, what other options are there for the government to consider? Is there something that can be done or exchanged? And now no matter how you say that, people are going to speculate, oh, government is in negotiations with DART. They're gonna twist it and turn it for their own benefit. And because of the perception of the DART group, it's going to come off negative or have a negative connotation. But the reality is, government, because of previous actions, are in ownership or obligation to that organization, and we have assets that may be beneficial for exchange. So if we want the Barker's Park, what is it that the DART group may want that the people may be willing to accept? Now, this perception that the politicians are behind the scenes negotiating with them is so inappropriate and so wrong and so untrue, because that is not the case at all. The cabinet paper that was approved with the governor's blessing was simply for the deputy governor and other chief officers to sit with that organization. Now, I'm not privy to the discussions, because it's only after they have sat with them to see what options the government has that we can consider that. I also want to talk about the fact that they were speaking about what a minority government should do or shouldn't do. And they are well aware that if any kind of conclusion was found, that it has to go to Parliament for consideration. I agree that in this sensitive period of time, no major decisions must be made. But we do have contractual obligations as a part of leaving the ISRIMS deal that has a time stamp on it. That doesn't mean that a deal is going to be agreed to with the DAR organization, but unless we are outright just saying, listen, we're going to pay the DAR group a large amount of money, I'm not going to get into the details, from previous obligatory contracts, and not have any other discussions, what we're having in this MOU is a scoping mechanism. Is there another option than government come up with a large amount of money to pay for the works they've done on the ISRIMS deal, as well as the NRA agreement that they built the road for, which again, I say, happened under two administrations that are our own. So that's basically what the synopsis of that is, and it's not led by politicians. It is led by the civil service. So the political arm is nowhere close to it. And that was done with cabinet approval, with the governor overseeing it, who is responsible for good governance in this country. But yet still they will do it for those who came on the show is painting a picture of impropriety with the process, and that's not the case. If you read the article simply outlines exactly how the process will go, what is going to be talked about, and that is left to the civil servants who are independent of the government to come up and suggest to cabinet what options are available. And I am of the view that that's something that needs to be agreed to by the next coming administration that's coming. But you have to start the work now because of the time stamp of those obligations from the ISRIMS deals and from the NRA deals that were, again, done in previous administrations. So hopefully, that is very complicated what I said. I said a whole lot in a short period of time there, but I'm trying to say to the public, and we shouldn't have to be dealing with this through Christmas, but don't make people try to convince you into inappropriate behavior. I don't want to be painted with that picture. Now, sometimes we go, there's cabinet collective responsibility. We are obligated to only say so much because of these kind of discussions. But that's when people will fill the gap with other information when the public is not informed. So, ideally, I would hope that the DG will eventually possibly come on the show, maybe in the early part of the year or between Christmas and New Year's, to talk further to this. Because when there is no information, people will fill the gaps. And people who have agendas will fill the gaps. And to be honest with you, the one part that is most disturbing, because some of the members who were there before knew that we wanted to get the Barker's Park, but we had an article go out yesterday that's saying that the government is trying to sell Barker's to that group when it's the actual opposite. And, so these types of things, and they're doing it around a period of time where it's so unnecessary. This is Christmas. Stop the politics for now. We can start it back all up again in January. Let the people enjoy the Christmas. But they're misleading. And if I don't respond to this now, and you leave too much of a long period of time to respond to it, the public will start to believe what they're saying, and it's not true. So that's that. Let me quickly just summarize the situation at the public beach.
Yeah, if you get a chance, I would like to always ask more about the land swap with Barker's, but go ahead in relation to your comments so we don't put you off path.
Okay, so the other part in respect to the public beach, I am very, very disturbed, just as much as every Caymanian out there, in respect to the public beach situation. It is definitely not the Cayman standard at all. I'm waiting for an update from the police commissioner as well as the public lands about how we're handling that matter, because it's just disgraceful. I can't find any other word for it other than disgraceful. And I know that the political arm will be seen as, oh, well, you didn't get this done. It's up to us to put those policies in place to make sure they're secured. And the first thing I'm asking for now from the governor, because she's in charge of security and the police department, is to do like something that we've seen in Bahamas. They have a police department they call tourism police, and their job is only to deal with tourism hotspots, and they focus more on, you know, transactions and you know, like wherever they have craft markets, where there's a lot of tourists interacting, just to keep protection of the brand. Now, we don't have that here, but until that is done, I'm going to be asking the governor, until we sort out what we're doing with the public beach from the vendor's perspective. There's unfortunately a lot of legal challenges about whether people are allowed to be there or can they be there, and much of that, again, was created before this administration and had legal obligations to it from previous administrations. So we're trying to give Caymanians an opportunity. Unfortunately, some of them are messing it up for themselves and causing this, the public to be upset. I'll be honest with you, I was one of those persons who didn't think we should have done that in respect to the location, but we chose to. That was the policy. It was agreed by the government. But now we have to get the control mechanisms in place. And until we have further controls through the Public Lands Commission, we're just going to have police officers stationed there anytime the ships are in, because this is like at least the 6th or 7th incident that I've seen down there. And I as Minister of Tourism, though I'm not in charge of lands, I'm embarrassed by it, because it doesn't work well with the brand that we're working hard for. But I can give the commitment to the public that we are talking behind the scenes as to what can be done, because we know that these stuff are affecting the millions of dollars that we put into tourism and the branding of it, for people to act like that and then send that and basically make our money useless. Because if you're ruining their first impression with people who come on a cruise who are supposed to be our repeat passengers for stay over later on, they're not going to come back when they see are exposed to those kinds of things. And not only the tourism part, it's not Caymanian to be like that. That's not who we are. So I got to say, we're trying to meet that balance of giving Caymanians an opportunity to have a trade, a business, and all, to make money for their families. But this stuff can't happen. But what I'm also understanding is much of it that is happening is not happening by Caymanians. And this is the feedback I'm getting. Because when I go there, the first thing everybody does is jump to attention, and everybody's good. And so I don't see it myself. But we can only get relations where they act like this when other people are not around. So I think the only way around this is to station a police officer. And I'm hoping that before the end of this year is done, we can have some sort of press release from the police commissioner's office saying that until we have some other solution about behavioral matters down there, that we have police officers stationed there whenever cruise ships are in. And if that means extra money needs to be paid to the police department, so be it. But this has gone on too much now, and I just want the public to know I understand that as Minister of Tourism, I'm not in charge of the public beach, but it's ruining our brand, and I'm working hard behind the scenes to get that done. So, Sterling, I knew you were going to ask me a question, so I'll give you that opportunity now.
I certainly appreciate you sharing it. If I could invite you respectfully, we do have the scheduled news break. Do you have time to engage after the news, sir?
Yeah, I got a funeral at 2 o'clock, so I can stay with you till 1:15.
Well, we appreciate the time that you allocate. We just talk about the two issues, the public beach and the land swap. So thank you, sir. To our listeners, the Honorable Tourism Minister will remain for a few minutes as we chat with him. Stay tuned for our news.
From Radio Cayman's newsroom, this is Headlines. Local, regional, international news.
The headline news is brought to you by Kirk Market and Health Services Authority.
I'm April Cummings with your latest headlines. Central Caribbean Marine Institute project partners from the University of Delaware presented results from the Darwin Plus Seamounts project at the annual American Geophysical Union Science Conference in Washington. During the conference, they presented maps of Cayman's Picklebank Seamount, including a virtual reality experience of the previously unexplored mesophotic reefs. In international headlines, a growing number of U.S. colleges and universities are advising international students to return to campus before President-elect Donald Trump is inaugurated, over concerns that he might impose travel bans as he did during his first administration. More than a dozen schools have issued advisories, even though Trump's plans remain uncertain. The schools say anyone whose ability to stay in the U.S. depends on an academic visa, it's best to reduce their risks and get back to campus before the transition on January 20th. The Wisconsin 15-year-old who shot and killed a teacher and fellow student Monday was only in her first semester at the school but seemed to be settling in. This according to school officials, as families of the victims remembered them as people of faith who had deep connections within the Christian school. 14-year-old Ruby Patricia Vergara of Madison and 42-year-old Aaron West of DeForest were killed Monday. Ruby was a student at Abundant Life Christian School. Aaron was a teacher. 2 other students who were shot remain hospitalized Thursday in critical condition. Those are your headlines. I'm April Cummings.
Radio Cayman. More news available at www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Check out our social media pages: Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly Twitter. Radio Cayman Headline News.
Kirk Market's 12 Days of Gift Cards is back. Each day, 12 lucky customers will win a $100 Kirk Market gift card just for shopping at Kirk Market. Ho, ho, ho! You heard that right. Every day for 12 days with 12 lucky winners each day. Come in December 11th through the 24th and shop. You could win. And there's no minimum required. It's that easy. It's Kirk Market's 12 Days of Gift Cards. December 11th through the 24th. The countdown to Christmas is on at Kirk Market.
Do you have a healthcare question but not sure who to ask? Contact HSA's Patient Call Center to speak to one of our experienced clinical team members. We are here to answer your questions and help guide you through your healthcare journey. Need to make an appointment? Our team can help. Contact HSA at 949-8600 or email info@hsa.ky. At HSA, we are committed to caring for you.
Radio Cayman is pleased to feature this special Sister Islands historical vignette brought to you by the Ministry of District Administration and Lands. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your Sister Islands.
Aston Shedden Rutty, MBE 1990 to 1977. Aston Rutty was the first child born to Henry Watson Rutty, ISO JP, and Julia Ann Rutty Nilazari at Stake Bay, Cayman Brac. He attended school at Stake Bay and as a young teenager was sent to Jamaica to attend technical training school. On his return, he worked for his father, who was collector of customs for Cayman Brac and Little Cayman. He eventually became the Sister Islands' first district commissioner. Mr. Rutty was married to Ruth Merrin in 1931 and the couple had 4 children. Mr. Rutty is best remembered for his dedication and diligent work to rebuild the Sister Islands in the aftermath of the 1932 hurricane. He was involved in the construction of roads, the airport, government buildings, and much of the infrastructure of the Sister Islands. He served as an immigration and customs officer, as a judge, and after retiring from government in 1960 as a law agent. The Civic Center on the Bluff was named in his honor. Aston Shedden Rutty.
Radio Cayman is pleased to feature this special Sister Islands historical vignette brought to you by the Ministry of District Administration and Lands. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your Sister Islands.
Explore your history, explore your land, explore your Sister Islands, the ultimate staycation experience. Your culture, your freedom, the land that time forgot isn't gone. It's your Sister Islands.
Discover all that our Sister Islands have to offer.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Hey, welcome back and thanks for Nelson. Thanks to the Honorable Minister Brian for just staying on and really appreciate you allowing us to go through our news schedule. Sir, you were sharing about the land swap as well as the issue with the public beach, and thanks for doing that. Can we start with the public beach just now? With what you were saying, potentially maybe copying what is being done in the Bahamas relative to the policing operation and apparatus being placed there. the budget aside to pay for that. I mean, how, sort of long term that would impact, the image in terms of safety, if indeed some of the vendors there are conducting in a way. What else could we consider besides more policing?
I mean, there's other things that I know that are happening in the background to be able to have more control. So, for example, right now, not all of the vendors have identification. I think they should be walking with bands, like a lanyard around their neck with their ID. That way that people can be sure that these people are qualified from the government to operate there.
Right.
Because what I'm understanding is that some of the people who are causing the issues there are people who are just showing up, that don't have permission to be there and operating. And because I know that there's a lot of Caymanians who are there they recognize the opportunity they have, and they're trying to be good and operate a professional business. And it's usually the people who are operating outside of the permissions for the area causing problems. But how do you identify them? And the identification process hasn't been created. I think maybe we should even, put them all in the same uniform, if I dare say, to say you are an authorized person to work on the beach.
So some sort of a identifying factor. Yeah. Is the Public Lands Commission then the sort of authorizing entity relative to the usage of government lands, but specifically the public beach?
Correct.
So then, is there a level of authority, enforcement, inspection that's required of the public lands officers, and if so, to what extent is that? Is that akin to a police officer, as is some of the DOE staff and the others, or is it just a licensing regime?
It's just a licensing regime, and that's where one of the problems lie, where there's not enough authority within the current act that polices that I think that is adequate for the officers to control the location. And as we are, obviously this is the first time we're having, over the last a couple of years, where we're starting to see the behaviors and these types of things are coming up. So you need potentially legislative change to give them the more authority. But I don't.
But that takes a while, right? Not sorry to interject. I want to be mindful of your 115, commitment. So if you're respectful of this, let me then interject and ask, if that is as alleged that you're hearing as many, that perhaps some of the people there are either not the authorized licensed operators and or non-Caymanians, what efforts have any been made to determine the veracity of that statement and the actual, bad actors?
Well, that's what we're working on now. I'm waiting for the briefing. I asked the Premier and the Governor for the briefing as to what exactly we're going to do. Because to be honest, I'm getting all the licks for it as Minister of Tourism, but I'm not in charge of the beach, right? But anything to do with tourists, I am reflected on.
Right.
I can't give you all the further details because Public Lands Commission doesn't fall under me.
Fair enough.
I know the Premier has asked for an update herself because we create the policies and we ask them to be delivered. Now, I'm not trying to make it be like all the civil servants are not doing anything. The truth is, do we have a structure in place that is adequate to control this? And I think the answer to that is no. So we are trying to figure out, particularly the identification component is a strong one to be able to identify who are actually qualified and certified and given permission to be there. And secondly, you need to have some sort of security components to say those who are not qualified, certified, are given permission to be there, who's going to remove them from there and their behavior.
Right.
So there's two parts of this, and security under the law and under our Constitution falls within the governor's responsibility. So I can't say, okay, there's no police under me as minister. So that's why I'm saying, trying to get an update from the governor about what are we doing, because this is no longer, we got time for this. I'm a politician. I ain't silly to the realities of the season. And if we don't be seen to be able to move quickly, then people are going to say, well, what's the point of voting for you again?
Right.
I'm embarrassed by it. I'm tired of it, to be honest. So
well, I'm glad that you have been so candid, sir, in relation to that, as well as when you made a comment about the vehicles, and I think you said the nastiness. So maybe people need to be reminded by such language how as you earlier said, it doesn't reflect on the Caymanian brand. It doesn't sort of align with what we are as a people. So thank you for that. One of our listeners has shared, they shouldn't have all that stuff around down there anyway. Can we, respectfully, sir, of course you can add in interject as you wish, but maybe just quickly go to the land swap and the press release that was issued the 13th, last Friday the 13th, and just read this one.
Read it.
Yeah, just this one little part here. We'll say, picking up on it, and it says, reference to the NRA agreement was finalized in 2016. We'll jump a little bit further down that paragraph and pick up the sentence and read just part of it that says, the MOU seeks to achieve resolution on execution of the outstanding obligations in the NRA agreement to facilitate recovery of fees related to significant investment in infrastructure and developments. And it continues, right? We don't want to take it out of context, but just to emphasize that. A couple of things. I mean, what can you share in relation to that, especially when it says, seeks to achieve resolution on execution? So does that mean that the MOU has or has not been executed as of, now?
No, MOU is just an opportunity to have a discussion,
right,
from a government perspective with the party, the entity, which would be DART at this point.
Right. So it says achieve resolution on execution. So nothing yet has been signed, sealed, and delivered.
I agree. This MOU is just giving them the authority to have conversations about how best to resolve it. And the key important part is it's not the politicians who's talking to DART. It's the deputy governor and all the chief officers with the blessings of the governor.
Right.
We have taken ourselves away from this discussion to say, okay, there's monies owed from 2016. Yes, there's monies owed from the Israel's deal that was signed in the last administration. What are we going to do now?
Right. But I don't want to be neither disrespectful nor argumentative now for two reasons. It's not my nature, and two, it doesn't really achieve anything. I want to be respectful of your time. But in that, we all would imagine that the appointed civil service would be there to execute the policy determinations of the elected, machinery, right? So as politicians, this is what is being asked, and the civil servants will go to achieve it. That would be a fair and simple way to look at how the landscape unfolds.
I think the memorandum of understanding gave you the parameters upon which the discussion can
Right. So with that in mind, and I agree with you, it's not the politicians sitting and negotiating, it's the appointed civil servants. Not to belabor that, but then want to also ask, if you're able, what are some, because it says, the resolution on execution of the outstanding obligations in the NRA agreement. What are some of those still outstanding obligations per the NRA agreement, which was identified to have been finalized in 2016?
Well, I don't know the specifics.
Yes,
I know that there are some duties that were owed to Incoin, to DART, from that agreement. I don't have the details with me.
Right, fair enough. So with that, sir. With that, sir, would it then be, I know some of this stuff is in the public domain, some has found its way, as some parliamentarians will say, on their windshield. Is there a way that you could respectfully ask, because of the 8 years, and even some would say even from 2008 and early, that this has been batted about, is there a way that a very concise synopsis, summary, executive summary, that could be published for the general public, not even just disseminated through GIS or whatever the entity is now, but put in the public domain to say, here is an accurate breakdown of all this thing means? Because many of us, as Mr. Bill Adams says, we don't read to understand, and when we don't read at all. Is that something that would be possible, sir?
I'll be honest with you, I hope that it can be done.
Okay.
Because I like everything done in the public domain.
Yes, sir.
Unfortunately, the cabinet obligations that I have, that can't happen. But I personally believe that if you do everything in the public domain, then there's no questions about it, because everybody can see that.
Yeah, what your mom would say, as per the scripture, where you do in the dark come to light.
Exactly.
Could we then ask? Sorry, go ahead, sir. Sorry.
Let me just add a little bit more to that.
Of course.
I'm going to ask, can we give the specifics as to why we're even having the discussion in the first place? Because I know the natural reaction of the public is, oh, the DART group and the government is talking because they have a bad feeling in their stomach from previous actions. So I get it. And this is what other people are using to manipulate the situation to get you back to that dark place to say this government is doing something wrong. When not, in fact, that's not the case at all.
Right.
The case is, the two parts of this is, one, there is monies owed to the DART group from government's previous actions. that has to be paid. Simply put, it's a contractual obligation by law. You got into a contract, you got to pay the man back. When we shouldn't have done it is a different question, or why we should have done it.
Right.
But you owe the money, right? The other part is, okay, then, is there something that we can do to resolve this outstanding payment? So you're going to have discussions. No different than two companies who are resolving a shares resolution of how best to resolve this matter. So you have the outstanding amount from the Israel's deal, which is, okay, we're ceasing this, we're now moving forward, but they've already started capping the dump, and there's outstanding amounts for the money that they spent there that the last government signed up to that we couldn't get out of, right?
Right.
So that's that money. So what can we get for the people? And that's where the Barker situation got in, because if you look at the press release, it's three components of it. Israel's, the NRA deal, and Barker's. Those
Right.
are the parameters of the discussion. So, and the Barker's discussion was on the basis of the Cayman Islands government now and previously always wanted to get Barker's from the dark group so we can turn it into a national park and protect it for the West Bay particularly and the Greater Cayman Islands.
Well, it certainly would benefit the country. Yes.
Yeah. So,
but maybe we can. Well, yeah. I'm was going to be in as a problem, but I'll leave that for another time.
Okay.
Could I ask then two final substantive questions? And Madam Speaker, would you allow the supplementaries? That's good. The first, we were told it is, there about 8 million or so. So some aside, you can, if you wish, to correct the amount. But has that money, those sums, been already budgeted and allocated and available if government was to choose to expend that to settle obligations? Are funds available and allocated for that?
Okay, I two things. One, I don't have the specifics to the numbers, so I'm not going to comment on that.
Yes, sir.
But second, I don't want to take the risk of going too far with my comments because it is a cabinet decision. But I know that I was comfortable enough to call into the show and try to clarify for the public on the basis of this press release.
Right.
To give context around it.
But I thank you for that. And the reason, sir, that we asked that is that, and one of the things before there was the FOI, there has always been Radio Cayman who was put things out for people to be able to, right?
Correct.
Mr. Wayne Panton as MP had shared that the funds are available, allocated, so he did that. We just wanted to ask if in fact that is the case.
That is not factual at all.
Okay.
Here's so let me explain, right? So you have a 2-year budget which was started in January of this year. Israel's contract, the government decided to not move forward with it within this year. So there was not projections for a new payment or obligation to the DART group that would have been considered before when we were doing the budget allocations. So there's a difference with, and I'm trying to be so careful here because I don't want to get myself in trouble from a cabinet perspective, but the contractual agreement, if you don't go forward, there's certain things that kick in, right? And if you didn't know you were going to leave the contract agreement before you budgeted, there'll probably be costs that will pop up today and say, oh, we didn't budget and plan for this because we've made a decision and now kicks in a different contractual arrangement. So basically new costs would pop up as a result of deciding to move away from the Israel's deal. So for him to say it was budgeted for would be not correct. I'm not sure where he was going with that because he would have, now maybe he wouldn't have known because he was removed from office in December of last year or resigned from office in December. So maybe he may not be aware of that. But it wouldn't have been a budget allocation available for the effects of leaving the Israel's deal. But that doesn't mean the government can't find the money.
Right. And certainly appreciate that. And then I know you have that, in relation to the second substantive question, and we'll leave it at that as you wish to continue. What other lands, if any, are sort of being considered in addition to the Barker swap, the land deal? Are there any other government lands that may be in the mix?
I am not aware of any other lands other than what you see in that press release, which is the Barkers.
So the Salt Creek land or any others, as alleged by some in the public and other domain, is not.
Let me explain.
So
here's what I suspect when I say they, the same ones who came on your show are trying to make the public believe, or whatever information that they have. Maybe they're talking to the dark group closer than we are. I don't know. We, as a government, have said we want to resolve the Israel's outstanding money, the NRA outstanding money, both for different administrations. And one thing that we are having in consideration of anything that the dark group may want to consider would be the Barker's Park, because we want to preserve that. So those are the parameters upon which we've given the civil servants to say, go and talk and negotiate with them about what can we do to resolve this, and we're all happy and that we can leave at no cost to the Caymanian people. They're going off and have that discussion. Now, if the other side of the negotiators are saying, okay, here's what we'd want in return, whoever said Salt Creek or any other lands, they must know something I don't know, because I haven't sat down with anybody from DART. I've done the right thing through cabinet. We approve. Let the civil servants go do the talk and see what we can do in the best interest of the people due to the decisions that were made previously in different administrations. Simply put, no more to it than that. I don't know what else to do, because they're trying to paint a picture. We're not even talking to them. We're not allowed to talk to them. That's what the MOU is about, which was given cabinet approval with the support and blessings by the governor. So this is the part where we got to recognize that it is silly season, and they're going to make something out of it that is not. I mean, think about it. The notion that we're trying to give away Barkers when we don't even own Barkers, you can tell it was a lie. So I'll stop there, because I'm going to get myself in political trouble by not being at this funeral.
No, we want to thank you, sir, for taking that time. We want to extend condolences, to the family, and we respect that as, not just as MP, just as a caring person, you want to show your respect. So thank you for giving us some time, sir.
All right, God bless you. Have a good day.
Blessings to you too. And joining us, I know we have a caller in the queue, but I just wanted to thank Mr. Philip Richter for, as promised, taking a couple of minutes from your day. Where's the coffee, my friend? Buenas tardes, señor. How are you?
Buenas tardes. I'm very well, and thank you, Sterling, for messaging me earlier and inviting me on.
Hope it wasn't too early, man.
No, not at all. I have all the time in the world for Radio Cayman. And so, yeah, I'm very happy to be here. This isn't your last show for the year, is it?
Susan, can we make it the last show for the year? Monday.
No.
Monday.
Good song, Mamas and Papas.
Oh, I didn't like that. When Mr. Lomax would play that every Monday morning, about 7:40.
Is that Mamas and Papas, or is that the Carpenters?
Yeah, that isn't Grandfathers. Oh my gosh. No. Is this a song? Anyway.
Yeah, well, I'm happy to be here, and I want to take this opportunity to thank the Honourable Kenneth Bryan for coming on radio and clarifying
yes.
what he needed to clarify. Personally, I'm not too well aware of the subject matter, but I will say all moments of clarity are needed, so we get the full picture. As he said, it is silly season. One side will always paint the other side as incompetent and whatnot, so it's good to know both sides of the story, and we, the voters, end up making that decision.
So unfortunately, the model we have adopted to make it not just parochial but adversarial, it should be one party, the Caymanique, working for the betterment of the country, and the best person at the helm.
One party?
Yeah, Cayman Islands,
Cayman Islands Communist Party?
I would,
No, two parties. I understand what you're saying, but I would always go for two parties, because we do need at least the option for change.
I'll actually invite and challenge you on that if you want.
Go for it.
Okay, but do we have a caller? Okay, we have a WhatsApp caller that has been patiently listening and waiting. Let's apologize as we extend the invitation to join us. Welcome on the WhatsApp.
Yes, there's no caller, just me.
No. I will tell you.
Caller.
I will tell you straight up that there are a lot of people going, "Oh, finally it's you. Why were we keeping you so long?" Thank you for your patience, for listening.
Yeah.
How are you today?
I just pretty good. I just listening. I was trying to understand most of what he was saying there, and he can't only do so much no more, and I'm not here to take up no side for nobody.
Yep.
But I just want to say that Sterling, when you talk about our tourism product, I don't know sometimes if people really know what this tourism product is all about. Sometimes I don't even know myself. You know what I mean? And I'm in it. But Sterling, you see, when you go and issue license or no license, and This is what I call now being lawless. They can come and do as they please. There's no protection down there in that public beach. No, when I say protection, no police officers, there are apparently no security. Who put all that no to have to be happening down there? You know, we got 6 months of this and 6 months of no cruise, right? And to have that happening, especially just opening up now for the season, and all of this is just going on, it's uncalled for. And as long as we do not put something, and I mean on paper, and enforce it, Sterling and sir, it's going to get worse. Because we talk about building a pier, we're talking about larger ships. Who are we building a pier for? And who are we bringing larger ships to? But this kind of behavior is unacceptable in tourism, period. And if they're going to continue to be down there with their businesses at that beach, with Sterling, you know for yourself, there shouldn't be nothing on that beach. Not even a bottle of water to purchase. Because you know what visitors told me? What they love about Cayman is when you come here by air or by boat and you go to the beach, you ain't got nobody harassing you to sell something while you're on that beach. You come in here and relax and enjoy the moment. These people are being bombarded down there on that beach. Even with some taxi drivers, they'll take them down for X amounts of dollars, and then another one comes along and go and route them and tell them, you know, they got to hurry, go back to the port because the ship is leaving, and I can take it for $1 cheaper. That has to stop. They ask for a price through government for taxi business, and when they give it to them, they go and put their own price. So what's the purpose of government making prices for us? And the taxi drivers is breaking it just to say they're going to override me and many more. Well, I don't get in that predicament. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
I don't go for all of that. I just keep away from that.
Yeah. Well,
because I am an ambassador for my island, and if I can't do it right, I stay home.
Yeah. And as I listen to you and reflecting on what Minister Brian was sharing, one, he is the Minister for Tourism. He said it's disgusting, he's embarrassed by it. And I think those are sentiments that resonate with many who would be, like you, want to ensure that our visitors have a very safe and enjoyable experience. Now the question, as you shared, if we're seeing, as some of our listeners have weighed in today and other times, the operations in public spaces, especially the public beach, why are we allowing that if it's not in keeping with who we are and what we want?
Right.
And Mr. Victor and I will have some interesting discussions, I'm sure, about that.
It's ruining our reputation. People hear all these wonderful things about Cayman, which are all true, right? But to go to the beach and I saw. Are you referring to the video that was been
That's
going
one of others, yeah.
Yeah, one of many. But these videos like that, with the internet like that, it's.
Yep.
We need to get things under control. I'll put it to you like that. Times are too critical to be messing with our tourism product. We need to be enhancing it and not devaluing it. It's one of our main pillars for the country's economy.
Yep.
So exactly, and we're not being strong enough. We are not putting things and making enforcement on things that they know that could interfere with tourism. And if we cannot nip it now, we can nip it with a new pier, and we can nip it with any larger ships coming to my island.
Yeah.
In your island.
Yep.
You understand? Something has to be done, and it has to be done right.
I agree. Now, before we go to our scheduled break, anything else you want to share with us?
No, my dear. You all just have a happy holidays. Oh, you can be on Monday. I'll catch you Monday.
There's a part of me that wants that you will indeed. Thank you very, very much.
Yeah, have a good one.
You too.
You too.
You take care. Talk to you soon. And Mr. Wickler, let's just take the break. We'll come back. We can talk
absolutely.
about that.
Absolutely. Oh, I have a few things I need.
Yeah?
Would like to see. Yeah, of course. That's why I'm here.
I want to know what he wants to say. Do you? Well, join us after the break.
Stay cyber secure with Cayman National. Here are a few tips that will benefit you. Ensure to log out completely when you finish any online banking activities. Be aware of phishing attempts and only click links from trusted sources that are sent from your device through emails and messages. Remember, Cayman National will never ask you for your credentials. If you suspect a fraud attempt or that your account has been compromised, please immediately contact our customer support team at 949-8300.
December is here, but there's still time for that Miami trip before Christmas. Cayman Airways has added several extra flights from Grand Cayman to Miami, perfect for a weekend getaway and to catch that increased duty-free allowance for Cayman residents. But hurry, word is getting round, so those extra seats not going to last long. Book your Miami seats online at CaymanAirways.com or call them on 949-2311. All aboard Cayman Airways with extra flights to Miami before Christmas.
Grab a card and win. It's the 30K Jolly Grocery giveaway at Foster's. This Christmas, they're spreading some holly jolly cheer by filling one lucky shopper's cart with $10,000 worth of groceries. Just purchase any 2 specially marked products to enter. Learn more at fosters.ky/jolly.
Life's best moments are precious. Taking the time to cherish them with those we love is the most important thing in the world. At Cineco, we've got you covered for all these moments, helping you take care of your health, supporting your family's next move, and making sure those you care about are protected on the road. Visit Cineco.ky today. Cineco, keeping Cayman covered.
Christmas just got a little brighter at Rocky's Diamonds. Discover their new collection of stunning gold rings, earrings, and necklaces. On special just in time for the holidays. Looking for something unique? Check out their Cayman outline necklace or the always popular Grand Cayman necklaces. But hurry, they sell out fast. Don't miss incredible specials on diamond jewelry to make this Christmas unforgettable. Browse their Christmas catalog at rockysdiamonds.com or follow them on Facebook and Instagram for all the latest deals. Visit Rocky's Diamonds at 28th North Church Street, Waterfront Center, and find the perfect gift to light up your holiday.
Accidents and illnesses can strike without warning. Ouch! When it comes to urgent care, every second counts. At Doctors Hospital, we have a dedicated team of experienced doctors and nursing staff available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Don't waste time in an overcrowded emergency room when you need urgent care. Whether it's a broken bone, a severe infection, or a sudden illness, trust in Doctors Hospital's unwavering dedication to providing the best immediate care. For complete urgent care when you need it the most, choose Doctors Hospital, located in Georgetown, 16 Middle Road.
Now, more than ever, supporting your immune system is crucial to helping your body fight off illnesses like the common cold, the flu, and COVID-19. At Valley Med Pharmacy on Walkers Road and in Buttontown, we carry all the essential vitamins and minerals to help support your immune system and improve your overall health. Some of our top immunity support picks are vitamin C, vitamin D, zinc, elderberry, and quercetin, or the popular 7-in-1 immunity support. Our pharmacists are always on hand to help guide you and answer any questions. Visit Valley Med Pharmacy on Walkers Road or Buttontown. Live happy, live healthy with Valley Med Pharmacy.
Are you tired of hustling through traffic, trying to tick off your holiday shopping list? Pull into Reflections Hemp and Tobacco, across from Liquor for Less on the waterfront, for pure shopping pleasure. Open from 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. Monday to Saturday. Whether you're shopping for someone naughty or nice, over the age of 18, you'll find amazing deals during the annual year-end holiday and clearance sale. Check out the newly expanded store and enjoy the sights and savings. You can also get Reflections gift certificates, redeemable at Liquor for Less, Eastern Avenue Rubis, Jose's Rubis, Food for Less, Reflections Clothing Store, and Hemp and Tobacco. This could be the most fun you've ever had before the end of 2024. Must be over 18 to shop at Hemp and Tobacco.
See yourself in reflections.
Reflections always driving down prices.
Yes, reflection.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Hey, welcome back, and thanks to Mr. Philip Richter for sitting and joining and sharing. And now we got 2 handsome men in the studio.
Yes, yes, we do.
Man, check it out. If you're not sure, go on YouTube, go to Facebook.
You'll see us.
You'll see us, man. I mean, one is handsome and the other is Philip. We got a call on the line. So let's go to the phones. Hey, welcome. Thanks for calling. Thanks for laughing, man. How you doing?
That was pretty good, man.
It was.
You imagine what happens at night when you come to my stand-up comedy show?
Yeah, man. Tell me when it's on, bro.
Yeah, man. It's a 2 chocolate minimum.
Yeah, bring some popcorn too, you know.
You know.
Good afternoon to you, and good afternoon to Mr. Richter. Hi, Philip.
Good afternoon, sir. How you doing?
Pretty good, thank you.
That's good.
So, first, let me start a couple of different ways, Sterling. I'd like to join in echoing Philip's last point in regards to thanking the Minister, the Deputy Premier, Mr. Bryan, for coming on and providing some further clarity, certainly from, I would like to believe, uninformed position, given he is right there. And it was very useful information, and it was good. You know, it's so funny yesterday when I did call Sterling, the first I'd heard about this land swap thing was I believe you mentioned it just before I came on in a question to the members who were in there, and I said, did I hear him say barkers? Because of course my mind was immediately, don't tell me they're giving away barkers.
No, if you heard that, you heard him say barkers?
Yeah, well,
yeah, just... I'm just going.
Let's keep it colloquial, all right?
Yeah, no, I want to keep it accurate, bro.
But I was so locked into real strong feelings I was having about how awful I felt that we were operating in the midst of this last meeting in regards to things that they had before the House, that I overlooked it, and I'm kind of glad that I did, because given the Minister's really strong explanation that made absolute sense, and hearing that perhaps it could be different, I was elated to hear that the swap could look to be in our favor. But I'll leave that there. That's all I have to say. I wanted to say two things. One is in regards to what I did share yesterday and my very passionate feelings, and I wanted to build upon that to bring more clarity, because I talked about the fact that it was very disappointing to hear members dealing with what I thought were 24th hour things, legislation, things that should have been dealt with from a very long time ago, and quite frankly to do with the, as I mentioned yesterday, not so much to do with the government members' bills, particularly those awesome bills that the former Deputy Premier brought, which was member for West Bay South, Andre EBANKS. It had nothing to do with them. It had to do primarily with the private member motions and dealing with people who were not Caymanians who are trying to stop them from fishing. And there was one or two other what I call trivial things, although they mean a lot to us. I think the flip side of that was what I was thinking was that I was also angering was not so much that they just brought those, but what was not addressed in the last 4 years. Things that really mattered to Caymanians. Caymanians are still suffering from just supposing the thoughts of yesterday to today. So Caymanians are still suffering with not being able to get jobs in many fields and in many areas, are still having to jump over loopholes and or go through them and try to go around them, are still being ring-fenced in so many different areas. So many different employers that are circumventing the law. You know, right after I spoke, there was the lady who had called in on your extended program. I assume she's Cayman because of the things that she talked about. Just, listening to her accent, you'd think that she's from somewhere else, and probably is, and she's become Cayman by way of status, I suspect, because of the things that she talked about and those members addressed. I found it ironic that she brought up about people who were coming here on a work permit and changing jobs, and I'm here going, wow, Caymanians can't even get a job, many, or struggle. And we're talking about, we have these members ending with addressing someone who's talking about bringing in someone on a work permit and how they could so easily change jobs, and just all of the myriad of issues that I think banking, for example, the real issues surrounding banking, how many of them have said, we're supposed to be bringing legislation to kind of get these banks to get in line in regards to things like the extraordinary amount of fees that they charge, and just noosing the Caymanians in regards to everything surrounding banking nowadays. Just the myriad of things that I called for a very long time, helping the Caymanians to just exist and breathe and having a sense of vision for themselves in their own country again. And those were the things that I was hopeful for that government. So I didn't say that yesterday, but I was sharing the very disappointment that I felt surrounding the things that they were dealing with at the 24th hour that did need to be dealt with, but it would have been nice if we'd had all those other things dealt with that really made us. And so now we're coming to an election again, and we're facing potential government. I only can go from my own precedents and my own analysis that is going to be, in many instances, in the back pockets of big business, because that's just how it's been for a very long time, and particularly when we get around anything that looks like a party, because that's what it is. They're all with a mindset of supporting the party versus necessarily dealing with the people's issue. So that is kind of bringing clarity surrounding, further clarity surrounding what I was sharing yesterday. And I know you might want to engage. The last thing I'll say is slightly different from that, but it's just something that's just been bothering me, and perhaps other drivers are seeing it. It's in regards to our roads again, and I'm going to be careful how I say this, but it's hard to not say it without just saying it. So there is a culture of people who drive on our roads, and just today I experienced it twice. Please to the Jamaican community, and I share Jamaicans because that's who's doing it, and I had a conversation with Jamaicans as to why they do it. What you learnt back home in regards to coming out of side roads and the lights and pushing your way out, that's not how we do it in Cayman. In fact, most people, I think the average Caymanian driving will get frustrated that you actually are shoving your way out instead of giving them the opportunity to let you out. This whole notion of shoving your front end out and zooming out. So I asked the Jamaican once, for those who missed it, because I think I shared this some months ago. I said, why do you guys do that? He says, actually, that's what we do in Jamaica. You don't get out unless you're shoving your way out. I said, well, that's wrong, because most civilized places, they have stoplights, stop signs, and you allow the person the courtesy to let you out. You don't go forcing them like, you know what, if you don't stop, you're going to hit me. And so most of us don't want to have an accident, so you stop. You're not stopping because you know, you get what I'm saying. You're
right.
Because you don't want to have an accident. You're not stopping because, you know, you think, hey, you won. And that's how it seems. That's the mindset that I think that they bring to it. It's kind of like, let me see how far I can get to come out because I know you don't want to hit me. And it's so very angering, to be honest. It's not even frustrating. It's beyond that. It's angering. And it's dangerous as well.
And also very disrespectful.
Very disrespectful. So could someone, maybe the Jamaican consulate, maybe there are a lot of people on WhatsApp, send it around to let them know that, let that community know that in Cayman, culturally, you wait for the person to give you a break, or, well, that's all you can do is wait, or you can do what you're doing now. But I can tell you it's very frustrating and it's very angering to other people, because that's not how we do it here. And I fear that some Caymanians are thinking that that's normal, and I'm hoping not, because that's not how it's never been. In fact, if you remember, Sterling, we used to do that so much where we courtesy let people out that I think it was the NRA or one of them that started to tell the public, well, try not to stop too much because you're holding up the traffic to let people out. You remember that? And and it was to do with, it was trying to curb people, trying to curb the lines that we're having. They were saying, well, one of the things that we're finding is that people are stopping. That's before we had like the turn lanes in the middle, when we just had like the two lanes going.
The level of courtesy was being, you know, as now held against you.
Yes, no, exactly. So, you know, it's really frustrating, and I wish those drivers that are doing that, and particularly it's very upsetting when you see the public transport buses doing it. So they don't wait for you to necessarily try to let them in as they pull, for those who do pull off the road, because some of them don't when they're letting people off and on. Not as bad as it used to be, so it seems like somebody had a conversation, but it's very frustrating to see the public transport buses pulling back on the road and forcing you to stop, so they're not indicating so that you can courteously let them on. I think you get the point.
Yeah, man.
Come on. I want to share, man. Thank you.
No, thank you for having.
Yeah. Cole, you still there?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Cole, what do you think about those electric scooters on the main roads? I think they're quite dangerous.
Extremely dangerous, and they're dangerous predominantly because they're so quiet.
that just creep on you.
Caller?
Sorry?
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Thought you got disconnected.
And my experience has been not only that they're quiet, but unfortunately, a lot of those people who ride them, I don't think are focused on the fact that a car may pull in front of them or may open a door because they're flying, going very fast is what I'm saying. They're not being very careful. So they're quiet, and then the people riding them are just riding them recklessly because they're going very fast,
Yeah.
I don't know how we're going to control them, but
I don't know either. But
they're dangerous.
I just want to clarify, it's not everybody that drives these e-bikes that is a menace. But for example, I was driving by Jose's gas station, and there was a guy going against traffic on one of these e-bikes, and I was thinking like, wow, like this is lunacy. You got to go with the traffic, not against it, especially when your only helmet is a hat. It's very dangerous.
That probably comes from the whole notion of riding or walking against the traffic. So you have the concept of pedestrians that are told to walk against the traffic so that you can try to maneuver if somebody fall off, versus the bike's understanding that, as I understand it, bikes are considered a vehicle under the traffic law.
That whole discussion with those bikes there, I think, need to be strongly, and publicly put out there. Reminded, and I do apologize to our advertisers. We got a scheduled break. Could we pick it up another time with you, my friend?
Thank you, Mike.
Hey, thanks for calling in.
I'm going to pause, take a break, come back. Philip Ritter.
Here we go.
All right, stay tuned for Talk Today.
Stay cyber secure with Cayman National. Here are a few tips that will benefit you. Ensure to log out completely when you finish any online banking activities. Be aware of phishing attempts and only click links from trusted sources that are sent from your device through emails and messages. Remember, Cayman National will never ask you for your credentials. If you suspect a fraud attempt or that your account has been compromised, please immediately contact our customer support team at 949-8300.
Did you know that Doctors Hospital provides urgent care services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? And Doctors Hospital's urgent care physicians have access to the most advanced MRI and CT imaging in the Caribbean, providing reliable diagnostics when you need it most. When you need quality urgent care for an illness or injury, Doctors Hospital is here for you 24/7. Whether it's a migraine, chest or abdominal pain, shortness of breath, broken bones, or another urgent need, Doctors Hospital at the top of Walker's Road. Urgent care right now.
December is here, but there's still time for that Miami trip before Christmas. Cayman Airways has added several extra flights from Grand Cayman to Miami, perfect for a weekend getaway and to catch that increased duty-free allowance for Cayman residents. But hurry, word is getting round, so those extra seats not going to last long. Book your Miami seats online at CaymanAirways.com or call them on 949-2311. All aboard Cayman Airways with extra flights to Miami before Christmas.
Kirk Market's 12 Days of Gift Cards is back. Each day, 12 lucky customers will win a $100 Kirk Market gift card just for shopping at Kirk Market. Ho, ho, ho! You heard that right. Every day for 12 days with 12 lucky winners each day. Come in December 11th through the 24th and shop. You could win. And there's no minimum required. It's that easy. It's Kirk Market's 12 Days of Gift Cards. December 11th through the 24th. The countdown to Christmas is on at Kirk Market.
This holiday season, give the gift of sport and style. Winter Circle Sports has everything you need. Quality brands and unbeatable prices on the latest gear. New Christmas stock just arrived. Score big with European Football League jerseys from Adidas, Nike, Air Max, and Dunks. Jordan shoes and clothing. Vans, Authentics, and old school styles. Graphic tees and Levi jeans. Plus, take the advantage of early bird Christmas special. Enjoy 10% off gift cards and make holiday shopping even easier. Find them at 12 Walkers Road, Georgetown. Winter Circle Sports, always a step ahead.
Did you know that you can send money transfers to financial institutions anywhere in Jamaica with JN Money?
You mean I can send money straight to my account and cut out the middleman?
Yes, that's exactly what I mean. You send your own money to your own account, giving you peace of mind that the money is in your account.
JN Money Transfers to Financial Institution is another convenient service offered by JN Money. You can have this done from any JN Money location. Deposit your money straight to your account without the hassle of asking someone to do it for you. JN Money Transfers to Financial Institutions, making life easier.
West Bay residents, the Christmas festivities are coming a bit early. Ralston Anglin is pleased to present the West Bay North Children Christmas Party, Saturday, December 21st from 3 to 6 p.m. Bring the kids out to an afternoon with Santa, bouncy castle, food and beverages, and a free bike raffle. The West Bay North Children's Christmas Party, this Saturday from 3 to 6 p.m. at the Teacher Al Park, across from the Lighthouse in Bosun Bay.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Hey, welcome back. Thanks for joining us. And in the studio, Philip Richter sits with us.
Yes.
It's a good way to spend a Friday afternoon.
It is. It really is.
Thank you very much.
Happy to be here. And
I did share that I wanted to maybe engage you with some of the
oh, absolutely.
callers and stuff. We have another caller. Thanks for bringing the calls along with you. Paying your friends to call. Thank you.
Absolutely. Hey, someone's got to pay the bills.
Let's go to the phones. Hey, welcome. Thanks for calling.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Hey, General. How are you today?
I'm the usual thing, man, between fine and excellent.
Oh,
wow.
This guy.
You see, that's the
Sounding
guy.
chipper in the voice.
I'm telling you, man. If I didn't see, no, I better not say that. Good to hear from you, sir.
Yeah. It's only a little bit of a humor in today.
Of course, of course.
For the last probably hour, I was listening to your previous callers. And for me, nothing has changed pertaining to what they're talking about. If anything, it's very little. Listen carefully to what I'm saying. Any country is only as good as the leadership. Okay. Another thing that's been floating around these islands about Caymankind. Well, if this is what Caymankind is doing to us, we better change that quick. Because I'm just as generous or polite as anyone else, but what's happening here, it's unacceptable. You can only hear about, what they're going to do and what going to do, and I don't want to offend anyone and so on. No. Call a spade a spade.
Mm-hmm.
And the leadership into this country, I'm so baffled and amazed and astonished that people are not speaking out directly and calling the leaders, the powers that be. A lot of them should be just absolutely ashamed of themselves. When the people are talking about what's going on in public beach, come on, don't say about what you think. If it's someone from another country, call them out. Don't be afraid.
Caller, I have to engage you. When you say we, the society, don't really criticize or hold our leaders accountable, do you think that's because we as a society put those in a position? Put those people in the position that we are now not too happy about?
Absolutely, but this is exactly, and let me finish it off. This is not what the people was expecting when they put them there. This is not what we were expecting. And absolutely, they do it blatantly without any regards for the Caymanian people. This kind of culture that's coming in here, they destroy their islands and wherever they come from, so they hell-bent to destroy Cayman. What's wrong with the enforcement that they can't do better? Is this the best that we can do? Is this the best that we can do or they can do?
That's an excellent question.
So how do we do better?
Another excellent question.
call them by name, call them out. But, you know, put it this way. When someone don't have any real morale and a shame, you can't change that. Put on a necktie and a 2 or 3 piece suit and go on the street and tap your chest. Is that what you think people are looking for? This little country, I've been into the tourism industry for probably, God knows, maybe 25, 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one of the reasons why I just kind of moved away and decided to come out of it, because I am ashamed to be out there with what's going on, taking public beach, and that's what you're going to show the people that are coming in here. Is this the best that we have to offer? And then we're talking about this prestigious dock we want to build for what? Look at your sanitation in this island, right? It is very simple to fix a lot of that. If you don't have your garbage properly disposed, they're not going to pick it up. That should be the law. And if you left it there, you're going to be persecuted. But you got more chiefs than you got Indians. You know, everybody's in the office, and then they send the poor garbage guys out there to pick up all of this stuff that, I mean, I feel so hard for those guys, man. You know, that task, they got to picking up all this loose garbage and rats jumping up in their chests and all kind of things. Come on, where does it stop? You know? And is the people should decide in election time who is best suited for the job, not who's going to give you this polished ice cream coating about what they're going to do. Look at their track record, what they have done. So far in the last 4 years, plus more, what has West Bay got? Show me what has the district of West Bay got besides maybe a bad name. And you know, you can get on the talk show and try to be polite and all that, but now the time has come for people to stand up and say, look, what you're doing is not good enough. It's not acceptable. And sooner or later, but sooner, we're going to start to call those people by name. We have to.
As I listen to you, I'm recognizing that maybe increasingly, because of your comments publicly, thankfully others like you, we may be reminded of the courage that we have, and should exhibit. As we go into the news, what more would you want to tell us in this Friday afternoon?
What I want to say, you hear so many people talk about in years gone by when we had Mr. William Farrington and Mr. Jim Barton and so on. Those respectable people, they're gone long. They're not coming back. What in Christ's name is wrong with somebody standing up and telling these, I don't know what to call them, that what you're doing is not good enough for this country. This is a lovely little island, man, you know, and it's going to hell in a handbasket and nobody's saying anything. All we can do, get up in the morning, go to work, come back home, and that's it. The country is dying. Gentlemen, I'm going to leave, but the country is dying because of proper leadership.
Hold on, caller. I can't let you go with saying the country is dying without asking, if you were the doctor, how would you bring it back?
If I was a doctor?
Yeah. If you saw K-Man on the bed bleeding and you had those electric pump things, I don't know the name, but you know what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about,
yeah.
And I can answer that for you.
Beautiful.
Okay. If you got leaders in this country, if you change the crew and if you don't change the captain, you know for the head. That is where it starts saying you have to change the leaders into this country, and how would I fix it? Good leadership will show you miracles into this island. You know, until we decide that we got enough, yeah, it's dying, really dying. Who can see it? Sooner or later, but sooner, your tourism product is going to be dwindling. People are going to think twice about coming to the Cayman Islands, all right? So, anything else I can do for you, sir? Anything else shall I answer about?
Yeah, what does good leadership look like?
Yeah, so respectfully, and this is rather to engage. We hit the news. If you want to just let Susan know, you hang on, we'll engage. If not, Philip and I will get into it. So stay tuned for Talk Today.
From Radio Cayman's newsroom, This is Headlines.
The headline news is brought to you by Kirk Market.
The Cayman Islands Football Association, CIFA, donated 2,280 CI dollars on Wednesday to Sustainable Cayman, a local non-profit organization dedicated to promoting environmental sustainability and conservation across the islands. The donation was made during a presentation ceremony at the CIFA Center of Excellence. The funds were raised through proceeds from gate entries during CIFA's recent Charity Shield matches, with CIFA matching the total amount collected from ticket sales. Good afternoon, I'm Dion Anglin with your headlines. In news elsewhere, Netflix has secured the rights to show live coverage of the 2027 and 2031 Women's World Cups in the United States. The deal, announced by FIFA today, marks the first time Netflix has acquired live rights to a sports competition in full. The 2027 World Cup will be held in Brazil. The host of the 2031 tournament has not yet been confirmed, although England, a joint bid involving the other British federations, and the U.S. have all been suggested as potential bidders. And Russia says 6 people have been killed, including a child, in a Ukrainian strike in the Kursk region. This comes after Ukrainian officials said Moscow had launched a fresh missile attack on Kiev, damaging a building hosting several embassies. In Russia, the acting governor of the Kursk region said in addition to those killed, several were taken to hospital following the attack on another town. That's a wrap of your headlines. I'm Dion Anglin.
www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Check out our social media pages: Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly Twitter, Radio Cayman Headline News.
The DVDL Customer Support Unit is now open. Customers can book appointments for written and driving tests through DVDL's hotline at 945-8344. That's 945-8344.
Kirk Market's 12 Days of Gift Cards is back. Each day, 12 lucky customers will win a $100 Kirk Market gift card just for shopping at Kirk Market. Ho, ho, ho! You heard that right. Every day for 12 days with 12 lucky winners each day. Come in December 11th through the 24th and shop. You could win. And there's no minimum required. It's that easy. It's Kirk Market's 12 Days of Gift Cards. December 11th through the 24th. The countdown to Christmas is on at Kirk Market.
Did you know ordering your favorite sandwich from Subway just got easier? Yeah, picture this. No more waiting in line. No more fussing with cash. Just a delicious taste of Subway at your fingertips. With our new app, ordering your go-to sub is as easy as a few taps on your phone. Plus, receive exclusive deals and earn loyalty points with every purchase made on the app. Download the new Subway app today and get ready to ditch the lines and drive straight into your flavor. Visit the App Store or Google Play Store on your mobile phone and search for Subway Cayman Islands. Subway. Eat fresh.
Accidents and illnesses can strike without warning. Ouch! When it comes to urgent care, every second counts. At Doctors Hospital, we have a dedicated team of experienced doctors and nursing staff available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Don't waste time in an overcrowded emergency room when you need urgent care. Whether it's a broken bone, a severe infection, or a sudden illness, trust in Doctors Hospital's unwavering dedication to providing the best immediate care. For complete urgent care when you need it the most, choose Doctors Hospital, located in Georgetown, 16 Middle Road.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Hey, welcome back, and thanks to Philip Richter for sitting with us, for our caller for staying on. I think for you a question.
Yes, sir.
On the table was,
what does good leadership look like?
Sir, you want to weigh in?
Okay. What good leadership looks like?
Yeah.
Listen carefully. You see Donald Trump?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. They took him and pulled him over the coals and throwed him into the fire and did all kind of things. You see where he is now?
Yep. For close to 10 years, they've been throwing that man under the bus.
This is what we're talking about, What people saying about you is immaterial. Stand up for your country. This is good leadership is what we need. There's a lot of good guys out there would be able and are willing to take the country back to where it was, but they never get a chance because you know what they said about money and what walks?
What did they say?
You say money talks.
Oh.
Not just kidding.
I thought you said walks.
Sir.
Oh, I get it now. Bit slow today, but I get it now.
You need more transpresso coffee, man. But how do we... Well, I don't want to belabor it. I certainly want to monopolize your time. You gave us the answer. Anything else you want to share?
No, I don't want to.
Yeah.
All like I said, the country is really, really in dire straits, and the answer is a lot of us has good ideas, good answers, but we never get a chance to put them forward, you know.
Let me ask you...
On the line, and that's it.
Let me ask you, caller, how do we put our ideas, because we're not in elected office, we're just, dudes chilling. How do we put our ideas forward? What power do we have?
This is it. This is the problem. Now you're talking about we don't have any powers, and those that have the powers have the money to put them where they are. That's the problem. Money. Everything is about the almighty dollar. Yeah, that's right. That's what the problem is, money. We don't have the kind of money to back ourselves or get things in perspective. A lot of those that are in there, they have the money. They have the donations coming in. So what can we do? Just talk and hear ourselves talking? Gentlemen, thank you for listening to me, and have yourself a pleasant day and all the best for the holidays. Thank you so much.
Thank you, you too.
Thank you. And
a lot of questions. Sometimes there is no answer, but it makes you think.
Well, perhaps there is an answer, but there's an unwillingness to seek it. Perhaps there's a willingness to look and say, okay, there's an answer, but that leads to more questions. You ask those questions, and that's a possible answer. Is it then that we're willing to be just political expedient? Is it that we're willing to renege on our obligations to be forthright, courageous, because we don't want to offend? As the caller was sharing, I was thinking back to the comments recently that seemed to suggest that there may be this growing perception that in order to, if you're being kind and nice, you can't be forthright and direct. The two can't coexist. The scripture says, do not discipline in anger, right? I think we can be firm and fair. Let us say the other day is, there's equality and there's equity. They're not necessarily synonymous. So to the caller's point, and answering your question, what does good leadership look like? Is it then that two men are looking at style over substance? He said, we need to change the leaders, right?
Right.
But what about changing the leadership style? If everybody went to the same school, learned the same thing in the same way, it doesn't matter who is doing it if it's the same gameplay. So then do we need to have a different...
New gameplay,
yeah.
a new plan, a new coach,
a new
everything.
A new everything, right?
So if you want to look at... you want to look at this as football, American football, not British football.
Okay.
American football.
I have to pay attention.
And how they run their plays and whatnot. Maybe it's time we go back to the drawing board and be like, look, all these plays we ran, we're not exceeding. We're not getting past the 20-yard line.
Right.
What do we need to do?
Yeah.
We go back to the drawing board.
And not knowing a whole lot about our sport, but recognizing that you put in one team. If you're receiving, and another team if you're the one advancing. Right?
Yeah.
But in football, real football.
Yeah. Real football.
Real football. You have a game plan, right?
Yeah.
And the coach may have to, wait a minute, wow, they seem to be onto our strategy when we do a free kick.
Yeah.
Right? They seem to be closing down, our openings when we try to create them. So you got to be real time.
Do we
have a call?
Okay, because I was my last point about the football. It's almost like the coach is the premier and all the players are the other ministers, because you have to make those bird's eye view decisions. Like, oh, they're on to our plan. We got to swap this up. Like, yo, we need you to pull back more, or we're gonna swap this around because my man's gonna do the blitz, so on and so forth.
And there you go.
There you go. A whole new team. That's what we need. A whole new
world. Let's go to the phones. Hey, welcome. Thanks for calling.
Hey, Sterling. Good afternoon. Dominic EBANKS here. Good afternoon to you and your guest.
Good afternoon,
Dom
sir.
the man. What's going on?
There's everything going on, man. The year going on, that another one.
It could be like that song. Was it Marvin Gaye? What's going on?
What's going on?
Well, good to hear from you, man. Good to hear from you.
Yeah, it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. Thank you both for allowing me to call in. I didn't really get a chance to too much listen to what the topic was today, if it was anything special. But I was just listening to your last caller there talking about politicians and looking out more, I guess, for Caymanians is what he was really trying to say. That we're putting other people in their obviously their needs and wants and in front of our own. Yeah, like you're saying, we all went to the same school probably. We all came from different families, but we all have individual personalities and individual egos. And if you look at most of the representatives that we have and had, a lot of them have a similar ideology on certain things. You might have all of them that agree that you need a port, and they don't all agree the fact that you might need more roads, right? So that's just one way of sort of looking at it, or whatever is going to benefit them down the long term personally. But a lot of our politicians over the years have had the country best at heart. It doesn't always work out like that. You can't really blame the politicians for every single thing. I mean, obviously they'll table bills and get them passed, and they'll even make it down to being put into law. And then once it gets into the hands of the civil service, the outcome is totally different from the plan. And it takes a lot longer too than the time plan. So, I'm not one necessarily to like just blaming this one or that one. I think we all together take the blame and it doesn't work out the way that it should have, at the end of the day. But nothing wrong with, firing the shot at somebody who you think should take the blame. I guess somebody got to be thrown under the bus. Yeah, I just wanted to wish everybody in the Cayman Islands, safe and happy holidays. And, of course, to all of those who have lost loved ones, we certainly, send our condolences to them because, it must be very hard, especially this time of year, and especially if you've lost someone during, close to the season, especially, makes it even a lot harder to have to swallow. And, but definitely just want to wish everybody a safe and happy and peaceful Christmas, and a prosperous 2025 come, just around the corner. But yeah, like I said, we didn't really plan on calling for any real topic. I was just, giving a quick call just to share a safe and peaceful season as it comes.
Greatly appreciated.
Thank you. I'll see you hopefully soon, man. All right.
Yeah, for sure, sir, and I'll be definitely reaching out to you soon. This your last show for the year, or what?
Boy, listen, to be honest with you, happy to take the time off. I'm honored to be here every day. I miss it when I'm away. But at times when, I want to play whether the cat is in bed, but that's how it goes today. So Monday, you can call me then and I'll be here.
Okay, so you'll be back on Monday. I was thinking to myself, I hope this wasn't the last show.
No, man. A heads up on Monday, right? We're going to give away a number of gift certificates. So good friends at Reflections have offered up a couple. We've got one right under the table from where we go, Blossom Day Spa.
Hey,
might be some others,
Yeah, very cool.
That's for Monday coming, or?
That's for Monday coming, man. Monday before Christmas Eve.
They're going to be thinking and feeling like a winner.
Well, look in the mirror, man. You see the reflection of a winner.
Ooh. Every day. I look at him rear view mirror right now too.
Yeah, man. Right, they say you can't go forward when you're looking back,
Well, the car not going to make part Someone else could push them forward from the behind or from the front too, push them back.
People setting these jokes up for me today, man.
It's got played safe, I just say,
Yeah, Bobo, I hear you, man. I hear you.
Yeah, well, to both of you, like I said, thank you all so much, and definitely God's willing, come Monday, hopefully, He provide me not just with the life to be there, but the time to call in. And, and share more as well too,
Thank you, man. Absolutely. Thank you. Talk to you soon, all right? All the best.
You too. Have a safe weekend.
You too. All right. Final break?
I think so.
All right. You want to take us to the break or bring us back? Which one works for you?
I'll bring us back. You take
bring us
to the
back?
break.
In the break we go. Susan's over there. When we come back, Victor will be here. Stay tuned for Talk Today.
Bang.
Stay cyber secure with Cayman National. Protect your computers and mobile devices with security software to defend against cyber attacks through viruses, malware, and other online threats. Be aware of unsecure Wi-Fi connections when in public. If you need to access your online banking or sensitive information on your mobile devices, try disabling the Wi-Fi and switching to data from your mobile network. If you suspect a fraud attempt, please contact our customer support team at 949-8300.
Freedom, Cayman Rack. Freedom, Little Cayman. Soft breezes, blue waters, no traffic. Unwind and rejuvenate your mind, body, and soul. Sister Island Staycations, a taste of freedom. Discover all that our sister islands have to offer.
The best foundation you can wear is glowing, healthy skin. The offices of dermatologist Dr. Wayne Porter specialize in enhancing your skin's well-being. Whether you're seeking advanced skin care, including any skin cancers, Botox, filler, cosmetic skin enhancements, or simply looking to reduce wrinkles, Dr. Porter offers a full-service dermatology and dermatological surgery practice. For more information, email drporterkman@gmail.com or call 946-9020. That is 946-9020.
West Bay residents, the Christmas festivities are coming a bit early. Ralston Anglin is pleased to present the West Bay North Children Christmas Party, Saturday, December 21st from 3 to 6 p.m. Bring the kids out to an afternoon with Santa, bouncy castle, food and beverages, and a free bike raffle. The West Bay North Children's Christmas Party, this Saturday from 3 to 6 p.m. at the Teacher Al Park, across from the Lighthouse in Bosun Bay.
Reflections annual countdown to Christmas sale is on now. Ladies, save 50 to 75% off selected fashion clothing, selected Adidas, Puma, and Nike sneakers discounted from 25 to 50% off. Make your gift giving super easy this year by getting Reflections gift certificates for everyone on your list. Converse kicks starting at $25 and bargains galore throughout the store. Guys, cargo pants, big and tall, $5.50. Levi's and selected Docker pants, 25% off. Every purchase above $49 at Reflections gives you the opportunity to win 2 free tickets to any Cayman Airways destination of your choice. Open Monday to Thursday, 9 a.m. till 8 p.m. and Friday and Saturday, 9 a.m. until 9 p.m. Shop Reflections on Shen Road beside the Mango Tree.
See yourself in Reflections.
Reflections, always driving down prices.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Hey, welcome back, and thanks very much for joining us. And as we, shared earlier, honored that many of our wonderful advertisers, including the good folks over at Reflections, on Monday.
The lovely people of Reflections.
We're going to offer up a number of little thank you gift certificates for all of their entities, right?
Absolutely. Before we get into our topic about one-party states versus two-party states, or countries, I just want to give a major shout out to all the lovely people at Ports and Customs. They're doing a fantastic job getting all our goods processed. Very nice, very beautiful. I wish you all the best. You deserve it. You deserve everything. You guys.
Yeah. Thank you for saying that, man.
Yeah, because everything in this room, everything we are touching, we are wearing, comes through them.
Yep.
They are.
While we're resting, they're probably just trying to recuperate.
Exactly. Port and Customs, they're the unsung heroes of the Cayman Islands.
There you go. We have a caller join us again, I'm told. Let's go to the phones.
Yes.
Hey, welcome. Thanks for sharing.
Hey, Sterling, Phil, it's been a long time, man.
Hey, how you doing?
Fine, listen, since,
where have you all been, man?
Why are we right sure, boy?
I called back for the last 10 minutes, man, because I realized there was something else that was on my mind. I didn't get to share, and I wanted to. It was prompted by the call, I think, before myself, discussing the situation down at the public beach.
Right.
I just a quick thought, and it's coming off probably what the minister shared as well, that in addition to perhaps having to sadly provide some police protections out there, and a small, and they shouldn't make it so obvious. It should be more along the lines of they are there for those people who may care to break the law or become real difficult, as opposed to being a police state out there. That's kind of my immediate thought. But for the taxi drivers, the Shan had mentioned, I think what we need to do is perhaps have a small taxi stand there so that visitors are not having to be pulled and hauled in different areas from different people. But, maybe they go to the taxi stand, a small taxi stand, to get their taxi, and so the taxis line up. So it's much more of a coordinated effort. That may go a long ways to kind of reduce this whole situation with one driver offering one thing, and maybe they give them a ticket or something that says you're going where to the cruise ship dock. It's $10 you pay a driver unless you give them tip or whatever. Just an immediate thought. But if the other one is in hand and glove with the whole cruise ship thing. I've been really bothered by the fact that we're not hearing much in regards to those referendums that we're supposed to be having. Now, do I understand, gentlemen, and probably Sterling, are they to take those three, is it passed? Is it confirmed that they're going to be on there, or do they have to take it to the House first to pass for them to be on there? I'm not quite sure of that.
Repeat that for me. What to be on?
Is it now the case that those referendums will be on the elections ballot, or do they have to take it to the House first and pass it? I heard something along the lines of that, saying we're going to have it on the House, we're going to debate it or something.
Yeah. I believe that it has to go to the House to be approved. The government of the day will approve the wording, and then the meeting of the House of Parliament, Legislative Assembly House, to approve it.
And that is perhaps my greatest concern, is to do not so much with the two more social impacting ones, which was to do with legalizing some form of not gambling, but I think it was to do with a lottery, and the other one to do with decriminalizing marijuana. It's more to do with the cruise ship dock. My fear has been, and this has been my thoughts, is that if we don't get some clarity surrounding exactly what that question will be, but more specifically perhaps where the proposal is for where that dock is going, I fear that we will pass it, because most people believe that we need some form of a pier.
Yeah.
The issue has always been where it will be. And so, for example, and so my fear is that it'll be very loosely worded. We will go in there and vote it very loosely, and because we have we believe that our cruise ship industry should be part and parcel of our tourism industry. I don't think there are many Caymanians that don't believe that. But then that government, whoever they are, whether it's the new one, whether it's future ones, depending on when it is, assuming that it will pass, would be able to say, well, we have a mandate from the people to build it. Well, no, you have a mandate, but where was it? And that's the concern, is where is it that they want to do it, and how is all those things should really be on there, because that certainly would inform my vote, and it's been a real concern for me, man.
Right. If I may then ask you, of any of those questions, in your view, are they major issues?
That spin out of each one of them?
Yeah. Are they?
Yeah, of course they are. I mean, I can go really quickly. The decriminalization of marijuana one for me is not so complicated, from the standpoint of I just don't believe that we should be at a space where we're locking up our local, and there's been so many locals that's been impacted by it, for the purpose of having some sort of a marijuana joint. Now, there will have to be a lot of different outlying regulations or something to do with managing how that all plays out and pans out in terms of where it can be smoked and that sort of thing. But that's not very complicated, because I ultimately think that's a personal decision.
Right.
And given that so many places, and not that we should be necessarily following, because of course there's the ramifications surrounding the development of people's brains, people who may be predisposed or have some sort of mental health condition, those things, but it's still ultimately a personal decision, and I just don't think that somebody should get a criminal record. So for me, that's not complicated.
Yeah.
But for the, we can expand it, I said, do it quickly. The other one is to do with the lottery. I don't have a problem with that either, because I think, again, that's a personal decision, and given the realities, if we go as far back to the survey that was done by Mr. Gilbert on the amount of money that is being expended, and that's been 15 years ago. He did the survey 18 years ago. where, you know, we learned that that's something close to $1 million. I don't remember if it was a day or a week or something that this thing was generating. We have some real, what do you call them? There's some real private people who are benefiting, and I think that ultimately, if we have some form of lottery where the government can actually gain from those proceeds, and allowing Caymanians to be able to I'm near the airport, allowing Caymanians to be able to prosper by way of winning a $50,000 lottery or $60,000 lottery. I think over time that can only be helpful if there are personal Christian, for example, convictions, and I think that's personal again.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I have reasons for saying that also. There's a very personal thing in my life, or someone connected to me. And I don't think God's going to send them to hell because they put $5 on a number. That's just my personal conviction. But I think this cruise ship one has the greatest impact in my view, because it's not just social sort of considerations. There's the environment, and I'm so stuck in the environment. We have destroyed so much of it, bro.
Yeah.
And I think that we cannot get this wrong, is my view.
Yeah. Well,
sorry, Sterling. Caller, you express your words. You just said we cannot get this wrong, but earlier you had said you don't have all the information. For example, you don't know where the port will go. What information would you like to see that will give you a clear understanding of the proposal so that you can make the most informed decision about the port?
Well, thank you for that. So I believe that the people should have some reference to the cost. I believe that we should have some idea about where that port is going to go, and that's the challenge I know that the government has, because if you identify a particular spot, you have to do an EIA, and if you ever come about you're not going to do an EIA, I certainly going to be voting no, because then we don't even know what sort of damage, sort of environmental impact assessment for those. We're not certain, but you're not telling the people what sort of damage that may take place while you're doing it there, and an independent and EIA that is, and just really what, if nothing else, the skeleton of the draft, or a draft that kind of indicates how big that structure is going to be, and how long, where the pairs are going to be, and how are they going to be constructed. There needs to be some sort of information around that. There needs to be some sort of information, because to just ask people to vote, do you agree whether there should be a cruise ship here or not, I think we place the people in making a decision of saying yes or no, when we all pretty much think that there needs to be some control around it, I guess, if it's going to assist the industry. Although I had some other thoughts, I think that we should actually play against those, call them their bluff, if we're that popular, and perhaps focus our money on those cruise ship companies that want to come with the small ships, because we see now in high season, just the other day we had one of those mega ships, if I'm not mistaken, in port. And so they come when it's convenient for them.
Mm-hmm.
That's another whole story and a different time.
All right, well, we gotta always appreciate and welcome your insight and input anytime you want. There's a chair to share. So thanks, man.
Yeah, thank you, caller.
All right, all a wonderful weekend. I'm gonna ask you to share as you wish and invite you always, but I want to read this from one of our listeners that just came across.
Very nice.
Says commenting on the Barkas saga. If they take the money earmarked for the back school, which can be put on hold, and pay DART his $38 million, then Barkas can remain undeveloped by DART. They were the same lot that wanted to dredge / remove the rocks / turtle grass near the Kimpton. Right as we're saying. What do you think?
I think my thoughts are irrelevant. I'd like to see all the parties talk about this. I would like to see the parties have a debate on this show, and then I will watch. Then I will come on the next day and share my thoughts.
Have a debate on this show, and you'll be the facilitator.
Boom. Well, what are you going to be doing? Trying to get a day off?
You know what? It's all good, bro.
Yeah.
I want to thank you again for coming in.
Thank you. End of the day, with the not the Brack saga, with the Barkas saga, I don't have enough information. Because anything I say, I guarantee is subject to change, or I'll probably disavow in like an hour, or or a day with new information. So with something of this sensitivity, I would say I'm waiting for just as much information to come out. But honestly, shout out you. Honestly, shout out you. Shout out Miss Susan and all the lovely, beautiful people here at Radio Cayman, because it's you guys where we get all our information from. The same information that we get to form our opinions comes from tuning in every day at 12:15 to 2:30? Yeah, Monday to Fridays. OC show every Monday, Wednesday,
and Friday. Yeah. I'll say a couple of things, but first this, right? Reading from one of our listeners. This listener writes, I think that a dump and the trash situation island-wide should be on the government's urgent, immediate to-do list. Maybe there needs to be a referendum, multi-choice question for the voters to choose what items the next government should urgently and immediately tackle over the next 4 years. Now,
you know, I have this radical thought. And instead of asking, oh, government should do this, government should do that, what are the ministers going to do, what are they not going to do, why don't we, citizens, voters, unite and hold our own discussions and figure it out? You know, I think instead of putting all our trust in somebody to go get something done, I think we need to figure it out for ourselves before we get bamboozled by some snake oil salesman.
Well, that would be a perfect segue if we had
another segment to go to. But
if we talk about that part of the system thing, right?
Yeah. Oh, you know what? One thing I love about our discussions is every day we come in with a plan and we never achieve our plan. It's always, next time.
What's that scripture? What are plans of mine?
Yeah.
One of our listeners writes, says, we probably need a leader like the first Prime Minister of Singapore.
Yeah, Lee Kuan Yew.
That transformed his country.
Hey, he had a backbone. He did some things that a lot of people can look at as wildly unpopular. But that man knew what he needed to do.
You see, vision, leadership, courage.
And a backbone.
Right?
Most important.
And perhaps one of the challenges that we have, as you were asking earlier, and I'll be mindful of two things, the timing and audience, but also the notion that, you know, we're going into Christmas.
Yes.
And I would like us to be safe and festive.
Absolutely.
Be as friendly and familiar with those around us as we invite them to partake of what we, bring to the table. But I'm asking us, the year prayerfully will end safely. We'll be reflective of what has transpired, as a caller before, cognizant that there are many who are no longer with us. And whether that's been decades past or just moments ago, it's still an open wound, a loss that, just can't be filled.
No.
So as we pray for and with them, that we'll appreciate the importance of our people uniting, having humility and integrity, courage, understanding, compassion, right? It hurts me to see our country sometimes suffer the way it is because we're unwilling to stand in the gap, right? And it isn't so much that we sometimes don't know what to do. We're just so, as one pastor once said, heavenly bound that we know earthly good, that we're looking at the political expediency without understanding the importance of doing the right thing because it's the right thing to do. You love your child, and you tell the child yes, you tell the child no. You don't renege on your responsibility as a parent because you want to be the child's friend. You're supposed to know better and know more, and when you don't, you seek counsel. Too many of us have been, as Mr. Peter talks about, promoted beyond their capacity. Lack humility to be able to appreciate the importance of learning and engaging. When we know who we are, when we're grounded, we can make much. But when we're so arrogant, egotistical, self-centered, self-serving, dare say narcissistic, perhaps we're not willing to be held accountable. Back to your point, when is the voter going to rally?
When?
When?
Well, we'll see. It's going to be a very interesting election time. I think this is going to be definitely the most anticipated election in Cayman's 21st century history.
Yep.
One for the books, that's for sure.
Well, much to be decided, my friend.
Much to be decided. But before I depart this beautiful studio, I just want to thank all the people of the Cayman Islands for being awesome. I would like to encourage you to, if you drink, don't drive, and if you drive, don't drink.
Yeah.
And love your family. It's sometimes life isn't the easiest, but it's good to be surrounded by those you love, and maybe put petty grievances aside, and enjoy each other's company.
Yeah, man. If you don't do it now, you may never have an opportunity again.
Exactly. And shout out the good people at Port and Customs for making sure that the island is getting all the goods it needs.
Well,
Can't do without you.
thank you very much for acknowledging them, and I think we start to appreciate how important it is that every single person has an important role to play.
Absolutely. And with that being said, I don't want to exclude anybody, so I'm going to shout out everybody, every civil servant, every private sector. We're all in this beautiful island together. We're all making it work.
Even Miss Norma?
Even Miss Norma.
Oh,
even Miss everybody. Miss and Mr. everybody.
Hey, love begets love, and
Yeah,
if
we
we have the agape love, we'll have it all. All right?
Amen.
Thank you, my brother.
Thank you.
Thanks, Miss Susan. So Monday will be our final show for this calendar year. Prayerfully, we'll be here to share with you. And well, I got some things in store for this weekend.
Absolutely.
Hope it goes as my plan. I'll leave my comments until Monday. Until then, have a safe, enjoyable, and as Philip and Mr. Art has shared many times, please, please, please slow down on the roads.
Yeah.
Be safe, considerate, recognizing that we don't want no injuries, accidents, no death, no destruction, no damage, nothing that would cause us, harm. On Monday, my friends, God's willing to join us. We have some stuff to share with you as part of our love, giving, and Thanksgiving. Stay tuned to all the programming. If you got a request, call us. If we like you, we'll play it. No, that's kidding. We'll listen to you as you listen to us. See you on Monday.
See you on Monday.
Talk Today is brought to you by Subway, open 24 hours in Countryside, Anderson Square in Georgetown, and Centennial Towers in West Bay. And by the Ministry of District Administration, explore your history, explore your land, explore your sister islands. And Cayman Airways, call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama. And Doctors Hospital, peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctors Hospital, always there for you. Call 949-6066.